Let us take a look at a demo to understand how functions can be used in SQL statements and the limitations. Let us first start by taking a look at a simple function called getDPTID, which takes in the department name and returns the department ID. Inside, we declare LDPTID of type number. Then we have a cursor curGetDPTID, which fetches the department ID for the input PDPT name. Inside the execution section, we open the cursor, fetch its result in LDPTID, close the cursor, and then return LDPTID. This is followed by the exception section with a when others handler. Let's compile this. Let us now issue a select as select getDPTID with a parameter IT from dual. Since the function is not doing any DML inside it, it should work fine. Let's run it to confirm. It returns back dptid1 for department name IT. We can use the function as a part of the where clause as shown here, where we issue select star from employee where empdptid equal to getdptid IT. So it should return all the employees which have department ID as 1. Let's run this. We see employees in department ID 1. What if we try and issue a DML statement inside it? Let us issue an update statement updating employee table setting empdptid equal to ldptid. Let's compile this. Now let's go and try and run the select statement again. We get an error aura -14551 cannot perform a DML operation inside a query. Let us now go back to our function again and let's comment this first. How about if we try and issue a commit inside our function? Let's compile it again. Let's go back to our worksheet and run the select again. This time we get an error message aura -14552 cannot perform a DDL, commit or rollback inside a query or DML. So functions used in select statements do not allow DML or transaction management statements. Let us go back, comment the commit, and compile it again. We can use the function as a part of the DML statement also. For example, here we update the employee table where we set the empdptid to the value returned by the getDPTID with a parameter of IT, which we know is 1 for employee ID 50. Let's run this. It says one row was updated. Now let us run the select again to see the employees in department ID 1 returned by the function. We see empid 50 shows up over here. Let us go back to our function and let's try and issue a DML inside the function. If we try and modify the same table inside the function that we are working on in the parent DML statement, then we will have an error. Let's uncomment the update and let's compile it again. Now let us go back to our other session. Let us try and run the DML statement, updating the employee table using the function again. This time we get an error aura 04091, table employee is mutating, trigger function may not see it. So this is one of the restrictions where we are working on the same table in two places in one DML statement, which might lead to an inconsistent state. Let us go back to our function. Let us comment the update and let's uncomment the commit. Let's compile it again. Let's go back to our other session and let's run the update again. Running the update this time gives us an error aura -014552 cannot perform a DDL, commit or rollback inside a query or DML. However, DML on other tables would be fine. Let us create a log table with two columns, log message and log time. Now let us go back to our function. Let's comment the commit and let's put an insert into the log table. Let's compile this. Let's go back to our other session. Let us run the update again. This time, there is no problem as we are doing DML on a different table inside the function. Let us select from the log table. Let's run the select. The data did indeed get successfully inserted.